Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about Doctor Who. For those of you who don't know, Doctor Who is back. Russell T Davies, who originated the new run of Doctor Who, is back as showrunner. David Tennant, who's one of the most popular doctors ever, is back, along with his most popular companion, Catherine Tate, along with popular composer Murray Gold doing the music again, and they've got a massive budget, but
They still effed it up.
They still effed it up.
Because you have to shove agenda in there, because of course we do.
So we're going to talk about some of the reactions to the first new 60th anniversary special, Doctor Who. Abandon all hope, guys. I'm out. I don't even know what to say anymore. I love Doctor Who for years.
You were excited. You were going to watch this.
I was going to come back, and then I started to see clips. And I'm like, nope, I'm out. It's still the same show as Chibnall's. It's just, it looks better because they've got a bigger budget.
This is worse.
Yeah.
I argue it's gone even further than Chibnall, and that's saying something.
We brought back David Tennant, or Russell T Davies brought back David Tennant to basically have him dressed down in the first episode with his doctor returning. And so welcome to 2023, guys. This is not the same RTD that gave us the reboot of the show back in the 2000s. So any hope that you had that this was going to be a season 3 of Picard kind of about face, that they were going to try to win back the fans, just give it up. I've given up. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You get a woohoo if you do.
Woo effing who.
So,
not Doctor Who.
God. I'm gathering my thoughts here. I can't really be angry anymore. Like, I was mad when they ran the Doctor through the mud. And look, and Geeky will vouch, I didn't have a problem with them making the Doctor a female.
No, I did.
You did, yeah.
I did. Not him, but
But the show was ass, because I was like, okay, well, it's a Doctor that we've already shown that Time Lords can regenerate into other genders.
They should have made a ginger woman. And then they brought back all the regular villains and just made it Doctor Who, but as a ginger woman, and not tried to shove agenda shit in there, and it would have been awesome.
Yeah.
The gingers make it better.
I was really hoping, look, Russell T Davies has always been progressive, right? His original run on Doctor Who, they had polyamorous characters like Jack Harkness. They had lots of gay characters. Yeah, and he was a good character, and it was like, oh yeah.
They never shied away from this.
No. We had Cassandra, who was basically a piece of skin, who started out, I guess, as a boy, and then eventually transitioned, and then wound up as a piece of skin.
But you know what the difference is? It just happened to be those characters that way, and that was how the characters were. But the stories were really great, and they were really great in the stories. They weren't their number one character determining trait wasn't I am insert whatever here. It was they were good characters with good stories, and I'm really getting tired of them not making good characters and good stories anymore. It's just basically a lecture, and if you don't like it, it's because you're some kind of bigot, you're a TERF, you're a whatever. Hell no.
Yeah, I want to be clear up front, because I know we're going to have people take this video out of context, as they are wont to do on social media.
Well, they've watched our videos, and they know that we don't hate trans people.
No, not at all. In fact, the actress from Heartstopper, I saw interviews with them, and they seem pretty solid. I'm like, okay, it's not a big deal. Trans companion, whatever. I don't care. Is the show going to be good?
The answer is no.
The answer is no. Apparently, the whole thing is about being trans, proper pronoun usage, and the biggest sin for me is the dressing down of the 10th Doctor.
Well, but then we have the people going out there being anti-help, like if they're going to make the TERFs angry and stuff, and they're putting these articles out which are basically just going to piss people off. They're not going to watch it. Yeah, Doctor Who fans applaud progressive trans storyline for Yasmin Finney's. Oh no, that's not what it was. The other one had TERFs in the headline. Yeah, here, a review of Doctor Who, the Star Beast, the 60th anniversary special is TERF's worst nightmare. And the comments were like, why did you put that in the headline? You're out there, you guys are out there actively pissing people off before they even watch it, which means they're not going to watch it. And they keep trying to say about, we need to normalize this for acceptance. Normalize means when you look at it, like you say, okay, here's my daughter Rose. You mentioned how Rose identifies once, and then okay, yeah, normal. No one thinks anything of it because it's if you want it normalized, that means people don't dote on it. They're just like, yeah, okay, whatever. Just like that's a guy, okay, that's a woman, okay, they're straight, okay, just normalized it. You guys don't want normalized. You want special fucking treatment. So instead of normalizing it like you claim you want to do, they spend the entire episode pointing it out and belittling everyone else and telling them they're bigoted assholes. And it's like, all you do is point it out and say, okay, good enough, moving on. Like you did in all the other Doctor Who episodes before, when they, used to do. By the way, they like whatever. Okay. Yeah, I understand. Let's go.
It was never that. I think that's the difference. And people are like, well, Doctor Who's always been progressive. Yes, Doctor Who's always been progressive. Star Trek has always been progressive. But the difference is it wasn't ham-fisted, and it didn't drag down the legacy characters to make a point, have some new characters come in and dress down. And they've done this with Picard. The reason people were so pissed off about Picard season 1 and 2 is literally Picard is dressed down by new characters, made to look like a fool, a buffoon. And yeah, all these male characters and female characters have personality, quirks, faults, whatever. But people don't want to see David Tennant come back after all these years.
They do want to see David Tennant come back. But as the Doctor he was, and Donna as who she was, and not whatever this was.
Right. They don't want to see him come back just to have him dragged. I'd rather just leave that in the past. And that's pretty much it.
Remember him how he was.
Same with Luke Skywalker. Same with, what I'm saying? Like, it's gotten to a point now where it's not worth getting angry. I'm like, you know what? If you want Twitter, you're making a show for Twitter and you want Twitter to have this show, let them have it. Let them have it. Let them drag the carcass around.
They're going to complain when the reviews aren't good and the ratings plummet. And that's what's going to fucking happen.
Yeah, I think it's going to be another bait and switch. Like, they point out in the ratings, we'll get back to this article here, but they point out the ratings that they were pretty good. Solid. I mean, not great.
Yeah, everybody was like, David Tennant, yeah.
Yeah. They said that, now, this is not a huge win because they said that the David Tennant episode pulled in around 5 million viewers in a peak of just more than 6 million. So I wonder when that other million dipped out. But they said Jodie Whittaker's average was 3.6 to 4 million. For David Tennant, that's not good. He was pulling better numbers than that 15 years ago.
Well, Doctor Who in general is pulling better numbers.
Yeah, and I think
ruined it.
And I think people were just like, yeah, we know where this is going to go, because prior to this coming out, Russell T Davies is out there doing anti-marketing. He's out there talking about how, like, okay, so they had Davros without the quote unquote wheelchair in the Children in Need special, which I thought the Children in Need special was actually pretty fun. I watched it, or the clip. I thought it was pretty fun. It was funny. You didn't need to point out after the fact that, well, the reason that Davros isn't in the chair is because it's not progressive enough for us to have him there. All you had to say was, oh, this is Davros before he became like a mutant cyborg thing. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, that's all you had to do.
That's all you had to do.
But they had to take it one step too far. That's the issue. And then people are like, okay, but now you just took us out of it.
Right.
And you're just a bigot. No. People are normal people. A lot of times they're accepting of others. It's just because you guys are just trying to shove it down people's throats so they get pissed.
Yeah, look at this. The top comment on this. Then, kids hid behind the sofa in fear of the Daleks and the Cybermen. Now, conservative adult Daily Mail readers hide behind the sofa in fear because the Doctor respects pronouns. The wokeism continues. People are going to
saying that someone comment isn't saying much because it's only
7 downloads.
Yeah, I mean,
most
it's
interaction.
Not exactly popular. Does anybody give a shit? Is more what I'm saying.
Nobody gives a shit. Doctor Who is a man, should always be a man. This may or may not be a popular statement, but there's some things that shouldn't be changed. Okay, we're going to get back to these comments. Let's go out to what actually went down here. Now, what's interesting is this is the Star Beast, and this is actually somewhat loosely based on a British Doctor Who comic story by Dave Gibbons and Pat Mills. Dave Gibbons, who worked on Watchmen. But these guys did this Doctor Who story featuring Tom Baker's Doctor. So yeah, this was by Pat Mills and Dave Gibbons. Now, Pat Mills is out on Bleeding Cool, giving his thoughts for Bleeding Cool on the special. And it's really interesting because it's like, oh yeah, it looks very expensive because Disney's co-producing it this time.
Right, which is probably another reason why we have the agenda shit.
Right. So he loved it. he's got the original comics. This is why he wanted to adapt it. They've got the meep in there from the original story, right? We get down to this. Okay, this is the good stuff. Oh, the sonic screwdriver. Yeah, it's a lot more expensive now because of Disney. Da 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 da. Okay, cool. Okay, this is the co-author or co-creator of the original comic story. Gender agenda. The Doctor returns with a new face and a new gender, and he's still thinking about it. After that, I'm a woman talking about it, being lectured about it. It's a shame you're not a woman anymore. Being lectured about it. The day of the Doctor's pronouns. My chosen pronoun is the definite article. Okay, I can do that. Because, yeah, the Doctor got lectured about pronouns. He get lectured about binary and non-binary persons and things. And then told to let it go because if the Doctor was still a woman, if the Doctor was still...
I know. See, that's what you mad. As a woman, fuck this. I heard from a lot of women on Twitter. I've seen a lot of comments from women. They're like, bullshit. You're dressed as a doctor. And people like, they went through all this shit to save them. And then they're like, you wouldn't understand because you're not a woman. Fuck that.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
If you want people back, which I'm convinced that they don't. I'm really convinced that I think that this is going to be a holdout because the BBC has the luxury of being bankrolled by, taxpayer money, right?
And they ask for a refund.
Right. Yeah, if you don't pay your tax, you're going to get arrested. I saw a PSA for that. I'm like, God, that's so surreal. Apparently other countries do that. We never did that here. Basically, if we don't like a show, we just don't watch it, and then the advertising dries up, and that's it. It's over. So, yeah, if you're trying to win your audience back, you're not going to do this by bringing the most popular modern Doctor back. It's a shame you're not a woman anymore. Because she'd have understood.
I'm a woman. I don't understand. I think you're full of shit.
And the trans character has to say, something a male presenting Time Lord. Male presenting Time Lord will never understand.
Then she snaps her fingers like that and it's like, yes, queen.
Pretty much.
Michael Jackson core. I'm sorry. She looks like Michael Jackson.
I can, and I'm sure she's a very lovely person, right? And that's not, again, this is not the issue I have. I do not have an issue with trans characters. I do not have an issue with aliens using they, them pronouns. What I have an issue with is you bringing the most popular modern Doctor back and then shitting in his face.
Right.
And rubbing his nose in it. That's what I have a problem with.
Luke Skywalker all over again. Is what it is.
It's exactly what it is.
Because for girl power. And it's like, look, I'm tired of this as a woman too, because one, it makes people pissed and hate strong female leads, so we don't get them anymore because, you did this shit. I'm tired of weak ass stories that are not good stories. You're relying on using different identities as shields to lecture people. And then when it goes the way it's going to go, which is, well, that was a shitty story. I wanted a good story. So what if she's trans? Don't care. Wanted a good story. Well, that's because you hate trans people. That's because you're a TERF. No, fuck that. It's because you can't tell a story worth shit. You used to be able to. I don't understand what changed. Oh, I do. Disney, BBC.
Between Disney and the BBC, yeah. And look, the show, I will give it props. It looks good. It's the best Doctor Who has looked since Matt Smith's era. Like, they clearly had the new TARDIS looks amazing. So much about this that I'm like, oh my God, if you just would have shut the fuck up and not or even just one offhand comment.
Right, just to make sure, if you want to actually legitimately normalize something, then you just act like it's normal. Like, okay, I'm not going to draw attention to it because it's normal. But no, you can't do that.
But
the high fives from the 10 people on Twitter.
But to take the Doctor and to rub his nose in it and lecture him and then chastise him for not being a woman anymore. So what's he going to do? At the end of the specials, he's going to change into the new guy and be like, well, being a toxic straight white man's a problem, so I'm going to become a gay black dude now. Do I get a pass now, New Rose? That, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They brought him back just to run him down. Now, maybe the next special won't be like that. Who the fuck knows? But I know that I'm out, and it makes me, I'm not angry.
You sound angry. I'm angry.
Sorely disappointed
because people using my gender as a shield.
If somebody said to me 5 years ago, whenever the Whittaker era started, I guess it was 4 or 5 years ago, said, what would it take to fix Doctor Who. I'm like, just call up Russell T Davies, bring David Tennant back, do something, because they already set up that you can bring the old doctors back with the 50th anniversary special because they have Tom Baker, and he's like, oh, maybe someday you'll wear old faces again, right? But then they fucked it up beyond belief with the Timeless Children. And my first indication that this was not going to go the way I wanted it to go was Russell T Davies singing the praises of Chris Chibnall, his friend Chris Chibnall. So, of course, because they're friends, he's not going to undo the Timeless Children, which was a complete retcon, and again, a slap in the face to Doctor Who lore, the Doctor Who fandom, the most disliked thing ever I think they've ever done in Doctor Who. And then they bring David Tennant back in this mess and lecture him about not being a woman anymore. Like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. That's why I'm angry. Like, what the fuck? And David Tennant's like totally cool with it. I mean, he's like, yeah, hey guys, trans rights, right? I'm like, well, the check cashes, you know? So, and look, and again, this isn't anything.
Well, this doesn't mean, again, you know, people, okay, this is the thing that gets me mad. It doesn't mean you're against people that identify a certain way.
No.
If you think it's stupid to shove it down your throat and then shove it down your throat some more and then shove it down your throat some more.
It's bigger on the inside. We can just keep shoving it down your throat.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what they're expecting. So most people are just going to throw it back up because they don't have enough room. And it's like, look, you can do diverse characters. It's always been diverse.
It always has
you
been.
can be trans rights and still do diverse characters and stuff. But there's a difference between doing characters well and doing a story well that happen to be diverse. And then literally, if your whole personality trait is I identify as this, and I want to shove it down your throat every chance I get, then people get their back up and get turned off. They're like, they have no problem with you identifying a different way. This character's this way. Okay, let's get to the story now. We established that. Did we tell you? It's like Bill. Like,
Bill,
did I mention
yes.
I'm a lesbian? I like girls because I'm a lesbian. Every episode, I'm a lesbian. Did I mention I'm a lesbian? Hey, guess what? I'm a lesbian. Did you know I like women? Because I'm a lesbian.
Okay, so
you missed it the first 10 times this episode.
Yeah, right? Like, I mean, and that was the thing. Like, the Master, like, suddenly is Missy, which I freaking loved Missy. I loved Missy. I thought that was a great character. But it was like, it was an offhand remark. Like, yeah, I was a guy. Now I'm a woman. Oh, okay. That's literally it. You know, and this is my character. Missy was one of the best Doctor Who villains in a long time. I would have watched the hell out of a show. We got rid of Bill and just had Missy and the 12th Doctor together. That would have been a fun-ass show. Mm-hmm. Like, that would have been amazing.
Them to be the companion, like, together, like, they go out and do stuff instead of,
like Romana and the Doctor used to. Yeah, just have Missy and the Doctor out there for a whole season, just Missy and the Doctor, and that would have been freaking brilliant. And that was the biggest missed opportunity with that series. I loved Peter Capaldi's Doctor.
The writing what he gave him was shit.
Yes, when he was allowed to be the Doctor, he was amazing. Like, when he could monologue like nobody else. He was like, I was getting Tom Baker vibes from him. I freaking loved him as the Doctor so much. And then to have them just flush it down the toilet. He was getting lectured by his companions. Clara knew better than he did. Bill knew better than he did. Everybody knew better than the Doctor. And that's the whole, like...
Well, the new thing, it's like, because you don't... Because she would understand, but you
just
wouldn't.
The male doctors.
Well, then you're fucking getting your asses kicked. I'm going to let you get... You'll die. Whatever.
Yeah, right? Everybody knows. So that was the thing. We established the Doctor as being this, like, godlike character. But now he's only an idiot when he's a man. He's a woman.
It's a darn good thing he has been a man most of the time. Oh, wait.
Yeah, right. But he started out as a little girl, just so you know.
We just made that up. Look, I'm a woman and I think it's stupid. And a lot of women think it's stupid. I'm so tired of them just race swapping characters, gender swapping characters. Oh, we have to put a woman in it and she has to be the bestest ever for no reason other than she has boobs. I'm tired of it.
People saying in the comments, Doctor Who's always been progressive, but this is too ham-fisted.
The thing is, and the comments that are saying that are getting way more likes than the ones.
Yes. I wanted to watch it. I love Tennant and Tate together. Sadly, the overbearing wokeness is too off-putting.
People said, I've seen people talk about it, and they were saying that was great if you take out all that stuff they didn't need. If you just say, okay, this is my daughter, whatever, it would have been fine. But then they had to have to hammer that down your throat, and then telling him that he wouldn't understand because the dude and all that, that took him way out of it. And then they said it would have been a great episode otherwise.
Yeah, and that was the same with the children in need bit. I thought it was hilarious. And I wish to God I'd seen it before Russell T Davies shot his mouth off about wheelchair. He spent more time explaining why Davros wasn't in a wheelchair than he did about or spend on the skit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was ridiculous. Oh, speaking of wheelchairs, we have a unit member who has a wheelchair with rocket launchers now too.
Okay, but that's cool.
That actually is kind of cool.
I mean, that's actually neat. I think that's fun.
If I ever had to get a wheelchair, I would get a wheelchair that would have like mecha spider legs or something.
You would actually,
and it would turn.
He said this before for real.
And it would turn into something
because he has back issues, and he said before that if he ever had to be in a wheelchair, it had to do that. This is not the first time he's mentioned this to me.
You know, there is a possibility, and I hope to God, but there is a possibility. I might someday. But if I did, I want a cool ass wheelchair, and I want flames on it, and spider legs, and missile launchers.
Anyway,
I'm not offended by Davros either.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
this whole thing, I just don't think this is going to go away. They think it's going to go. And people are like, I had this idiot on Twitter, and they're like, you're just salty because you're just mad because you want to sit here and shit on this stuff, but you never have solutions. It's like, no, bitch. Here's the thing. And yes, I'm talking to you, bitch. It's not a term of endearment. Here's the thing. People like us have been trying to do something about it. We have been signaling. We're like, hey, iceberg. Hey, you might not want to do that because there's a big fucking iceberg. And then they hit the iceberg and they're like, oh my God, bigots. No one told us this is going to happen. It's like, we tried to tell you repeatedly. Iceberg. You don't listen, and then it's not about being negative. It's about having common sense and pointing out the obvious. You're losing viewers by the thousands, millions, and you're like, let's double down on this shit.
Yeah, I mean, people are going to tune in because of David Tennant. Those are not the numbers.
Tune out real fast for the rest of it.
They are. They actually, the numbers dropped while people were watching it. They were probably hoping, hey, let's roll this back to 2008 Doctor Who. It's clearly not 2008 Doctor Who, and it's just setting up what is probably going to be a lot more.
And isn't there 2 more episodes?
2 more with.
Let's see how those reviews do. Those numbers are. Yeah. And $1 million over Jodie Whittaker's exit isn't saying much because by that point in time, no one gave a shit.
No. I fully expect the next 2 specials to have declining numbers, even with Neil Patrick Harris. I mean, that would have. Again, these are all casting choice. I would have been like, if you asked me 10 or 15 years ago, like what would kind of like your Doctor Who dream team be? And I'm like, a bigger budget, Murray Gold back because his music was sorely missed. Russell T Davies back. David Tennant back. Let's throw in some guest stars. Let's get some American guests. Let's get Neil Patrick Harris because he's fun, And I would have been like, yes, this is an amazing line. And I'm just like, oh God, it's worse than I.
It's like we got everything going for us. What can we do to fuck it up? Let's do that.
Yeah, exactly. So let's finish with this stupid article here, and then we'll wrap it up. This is coming from Metro. Review of Doctor Who: The Star Beast. The 60th anniversary special is a turf's worst nightmare.
Oh my God, I'm so sick of
Those are not the headlines I would want to see.
We want to get people to watch the show so they can normalize all this stuff. So let's insult them in the headline, and then they will definitely not watch it.
Yeah. So Doctor Who, yeah. So here we get to the bottom. After they talk about, the good stuff, right? Doctor Who's always had a massive queer fan base. Yes. It's always been progressive. Yes. And showrunner Russell already had a quote ready for the people who predictably will have an issue over this.
Which is most all your fans.
Yes. Speaking at a press event ahead of the episode airing, he said he knew there were some people full of absolute hate and venom and destruction and violence who would like to see that sort of thing wiped off the screen entirely.
That's deflection. That's deflection. That's I say that if you don't like this, you're these people, and you're hoping people are gonna be like, no, I'm not those people. So you're right. It's the bestest thing ever. No, look, it has nothing to do with you having trans characters or non-binary identified differently. It's the fact that you shoved it down people's throats multiple times, and then you shit on the Doctor at the end. That's what the problem is, Davies. That's what the problem is. I mean, you're just going to be like, oh, they're just hate and venom and destruction and violence. Wait, so now you're trying to equate people who don't like your shit as violent, venomous, destructive people because they thought your show was garbage. Well, I think anybody who doesn't like our show are filled with hate. They're bigots. They hate gingers, and they're destructive and violent. And they put up rape polls about people and things like that. But you'd be like, ha ha ha, you're still a bigot. No, see, here's the thing. You don't get to do this anymore. It doesn't work on people anymore. You can't put up shit and say it's because you're a bigot. You just can't write anymore, apparently. Can't you just write good Doctor Who had the queer fan base and progressive stuff in it, but it still was a damn good show? How hard is it? Take your hand off your dick and actually write a damn good show.
No,
shame on you. Good luck in your lonely lives. Not lonely at all. Don't hate trans people or non-binary people. Tired to death of your bullshit. And I'm really tired of you doing shitty stuff, subpar crap, and then saying using people as shields. You can't say anything. You're a horrible person. I'm gonna put my trans person in front of me. Say something because this is my shield. That's worse. Subpar stuff and then using people as a shield, but you have to love it because representation. God, that's just worse. Good luck on your lonely life, bitch.
Whoa, hey. I was just thinking you said about taking his hand off his dick, and I'm like, no, that'd be John Barrowman. John Barrowman's the one that whips it out.
Yeah.
Is this overcompensation? Because, like...
He's still a lot more likable than these people.
Because, so. Well, no, I mean, I'm seriously wondering, like, what happened to RTD? He used to be pretty sane, and I'm like, okay, so he hired John Barrowman as Captain Jack. He kind of helped make his career, and then all those allegations a couple of years ago, is he overcompensating or something? Like,
I don't know.
Don't come after me.
And then this person's like, with the doctor back in the TARDIS, we're getting confidence only up from here. Would you want to bet? Let's look at the numbers after the next couple episodes, and we'll see. And then my next thing is, if the majority of old fans aren't watching your show, it can't be because they're all bigots now, can it? It's because your show sucks.
Yeah. I mean, fans like, look, the critics love. There's only 7 reviews though, which is so weird. But the audience scores are coming in. People are pissed, and this is like beep boop bop. Doctor Who finally back to how I loved it when I was a kid. So nice to have likable characters and solid emotive dialogue back in Doctor Who. Loved it. Great Monster of the Week episode.
What do people think these people are looking for? Good characters. Good dialogue, a monster of the week. And then they put it in the one comment together. All the things that people were looking for and complaining about.
Amazing first episode. Love the representation and fantastic to see new and old cast members absolutely smashing it.
Okay, wait, go click on Laura B's name. Does Laura B reviewed anything else?
Nope.
Shocker.
Let's see some of these 5-star.
I can tell you for a fact, like with She-Ra, they were getting together on Discords and on different places like Instagram and stuff like that, and mass going to these places because representation, bitches. And then they were like mass, like giving it 5 stars and putting quotes like this on it. Do I think that happens as much as downvoting it? Yes.
Yeah. Now here's the thing though. People are like, oh, Tate and Tennant are elevating Doctor Who. I'm like, well, then we don't know what's going to happen after he's out after 3 episodes. He's only in 3 episodes, guys. Now, remember when people said we're lying about that too? Because the insider had, it wasn't our insider. It was actually somebody else making the rounds saying that they were going to bring David Tennant back as a last-ditch effort to save Doctor Who.
And it might have worked.
And they do this.
But then you tripped over your own damn shoes. You tied your shoelaces together. You bought really nice shoes, fantastic shoes, excellent shoes that could have got you to first place if you were running a race because they were just such great shoes. Then you tied your damn shoelaces together and fell on your face with the first step.
Laces out.
Oh, no.
Do you really want to hurt me?
That's funny. Wrong but funny.
Do you really want to make me cry?
God, just stop using people's shields for your shitty ass storytelling.
Nobody likes a shitty ass. You should clean that up a little bit. No, I'm colossally disappointed. I really was hoping, and maybe the other 2 specials will be fine, but you know what? I know it's going to come after that. I'm like, this is literally just more Chibnall crap, and as soon as they said they were not going to walk back the Timeless Child, which is the dumbest thing, single dumbest thing they've ever come up with in the entirety of Doctor Who. Let's celebrate the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who by retconning his origin and dressing down one of the most popular doctors ever for the anniversary. Like, what the hell? That's like Mickey Mouse. Like, hey, it's the 100th anniversary of Disney. Let's have Minnie kick Mickey in the balls a couple of times.
And tell him he would know if he was a woman.
Jesus.
Can we wrap this up?
We're wrapping this up. I wish I were surprised, but we've seen this happen so many times now. So, yeah, it's good luck with that. The show, if it's going to survive, is going to need a hard reboot, for sure.
It needs a boot, for sure.
Needs a boot. It needs a boot to the head. We're going to wrap it up.
Yes.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.